And now, our feature presentation.
To infinity and beyond!
My name's Bond. James Bond.
That'll do, Pig.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box?
Damn! Ew! Get off of me! F.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have liftoff. Maybe a problem. We'll see. Welcome into 52/1995, your live movie conversation podcast where we discuss movies from the year 1995. I'm your host, Cody, and I'm thrilled to be joined this week by my fantastic co-host. We'll get him in here in a second. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're so glad that you're here. Every week, 52 of them to be exact, we talk about a different film from the year 1995. Whether it is a classic hit or a quirky gem, we'll dive into this year's important releases, discuss them in detail, and chat with my guests about their thoughts and experiences with the movie. Our current theme is...
A white man? No!
Did anybody hear that? I'm not even sure if it shared all of that. Just let me know in the chat if you heard that or not. So we'll get that off here. Anyway, it is a white man. No, based on the Schmidt line from New Girl, where every movie that we're talking about this month is about a white man, and how much we, of course, right? Anyway, we're talking about some special movies this month. This week's movie is called Rob Roy. Never heard of it, never seen it, and I'm excited to talk about this with my guest whenever he gets here. But just to kind of do some other housekeeping things while we have the time and we don't have to rush it at the end of the pod. Anyway, just so you can keep up with everything, we have a Discord server that we post in. If you're looking to see what movies we've got upcoming for the next week or month, we can share that with you there. Typically, I have like a Google Sheets going there. I need to repost it again so everybody kind of knows the schedule of what to look forward to, but that's all located in our Discord server. You can also check us out on Letterboxd. You can find all these links by going to my links here on Twitch, and you can go to my Instagram that lets you know kind of when we're going to be doing the actual podcasts. Sometimes they're a little bit later, especially during the summer. We have a lot of traveling, a lot of holiday stuff to catch up on. And so that's always a good place to find out when we're going to be doing the pod. And then my Letterboxd account always has my top 4 in Letterboxd is the next 4 movies that we're going to be talking about. So do go there, check that out. And also just some more information for you. Our current we have an extra credit theme. These extra credit themes are typically once a month, the last Wednesday of every month, and we're tackling movies that you probably that didn't quite make the 52 list, but we want to give them their kudos or give them their time. So we put together these extra credit themes. This month's extra credit theme in May, maybe it has to do with, when May the 4th be with you or Star Wars, but all of these are sci-fi films. So it's our theme is called Back to the Future, which talks about like futuristic worlds and the sci-fi genre. But the movies that we're covering for this month are Tank Girl, Johnny Mnemonic, Judge Dredd, The City of Lost Children, and Virtuosity. So those are also included on a list in my Letterboxd. So if you do want to check those out and share in that and join us in chat and everything, that pod will be Wednesday, May 28th at 6 p.m. It's typically when I do those. So yeah, definitely be here to check that one out. I think that's everything. Oh, one more thing. We have started a new series, a kind of a branch in the 52 is what we're calling it. But that's 52 slash 1995 music. And we usually do those on Tuesdays. This week's album is Mariah Carey's Daydream, I think is what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think it is Daydream. Um, or maybe I'm wrong. I could be really wrong about this. Now I'm like not sure what album we're talking about. But we're talking about 52 we're talking about 52 albums from the year 1995 as well. And we're talking about the Mariah Carey's album Daydream. That is correct. I got it confirmed. We'll be talking about that on Tuesday night, maybe a little bit later than what we do. We'll see. I'll post in on Instagram when we're actually going to have that one. So do check that out. That's been a lot of fun. And listening to a lot of music that I haven't normally been listening to. So um, do check that out whenever you get a chance. So not sure if we're going to get in a person in here, and that's okay. We can go ahead and get started with everything that we need to do. So let's go ahead and talk about this movie for this month. So again, let me introduce the movie. It is called Rob Roy, and this movie came out on April 14th, 1995. It was directed by Michael Caton Jones. We've seen Michael Caton Jones once before on this podcast, and that was for the Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio movie This Boy's Life. I did that with Steven, if you remember. You can check out all of those past episodes. Some of them have been uploaded to our Spotify. I'm not very good at uploading those to Spotify. So there's only a few of those on there. I think the entire 1993 season is on there. But if you want to see past episodes, you can go to our YouTube page and check that out as well. This movie was also written by Alan Sharp. I didn't really notice anything too familiar about any Alan Sharp screenplays, but both Michael Caton Jones and Alan Sharp are Scottish. So they were the appropriate people to do this movie about Scottish warrior, Scottish Robin Hood, Scottish. I don't know what else to call him. Anyway, this movie has a cast, pretty star-studded cast. We have Liam Neeson here as the titular Rob Roy McGregor, Jessica Lange as Mary McGregor, John Hurt as James Gran, the fourth Marquess of Montrose. Montrose is typically how they refer to him in the movie. Tim Roth as Archibald Cunningham. Eric Stoltz as Alan McDonald, Andrew Keir as John Campbell, or the second Duke of Argyll, Brian Cox as Killern. This is his second movie of the year in another Scottish movie for Brian Cox to join us. And then Brian McCarty as Alistair McGregor. The synopsis for this movie, and I pulled this directly from Google, so we'll go ahead and read this. It says, in 18th century Scotland, Robert Roy McGregor is the head of a proud Highlands clan that herds cattle. Rob takes £1,000 loan from the Marquess of Montrose, that's a hard one to say, to feed his people through the upcoming winter. Before his friend MacDonald can return with the money, he is murdered by swordsman Archibald Cunningham. Rob is forced to go on the run and eventually confronts Cunningham after he rapes his wife. This movie gets a little bit heavy. So trigger warning there for everybody. But budget for this movie was $28 million with a box office return, a very modest box office return, $58.7 million. So it did okay. This movie has a Rotten Tomato score of 73%. And a IMDb score at 6.9 and a Letterboxd score of 3.4. So all kind of hovering around the same area there. Roger Ebert loved this movie. He gave it 3.5 stars out of 4. He said, "This is a splendid, rousing historical adventure, an example of what can happen when the best direction, acting, writing, and technical credits are brought to bear on what might look like shop-worn material." Now, Rita Kelly of the Washington Post had a little bit of a different opinion there. And we bring in our special co-host here.
Oh my goodness, let me in here.
I'm just going through all the stuff where you don't talk, so we're doing okay. You're not missing
Cool.
anything yet. Rita Kempley of the Washington Post said, director Michael Caton Jones and Sharp, both Scotsmen are so caught up in the legend that they don't seem to notice that Rob Roy is about as heroic as a hat full of haggis. Like Charles Bronson, Rob Roy has no greater cause than vengeance. Not king, not God, not country. He just doesn't want to be dissed. So Rita Kempley, not a big fan. This movie did get nominated for one Academy Award, and that was for Tim Roth for Best Supporting Actor. He did not win. Spoiler alert for that. So now that we've got Joseph in here, and I'm glad that you're here. Technical problems are.
Sorry.
It's no, don't you apologize to me ever. What did you is this your first time watching Rob Roy?
Yeah, first time. Never had heard of this one. I think I was one of those people that, only heard about Braveheart, and it just kind of completely missed me back in the day and all the years. So first watch, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. This was a first time watch for me, first time I'd heard about it, and didn't really know. I've seen this before. Like I've seen the cover, I've seen it, like, and I was like, oh, that looks, schmaltzy and romancy and all these things, and it does have a little bit of that in it, but not as much as it should have. But yeah, it's weird that this movie came out in the same year as Braveheart.
Yeah, very strange.
But we see that a lot, you see those duplicate productions happening, your Armageddons and your Deep Impacts and your what else? I think there were supposed to be
Prestige
like,
Illusionist.
what was that one?
Didn't Prestige and Illusionist come out in the same year?
Yes, that's another good one. Yeah. So yeah, they're often doing this. People, I guess, having the same thoughts. Although I do not think this compares to Braveheart as much as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, it's very different.
Very different, yeah. And you see that I read off the synopsis for it, and I mean that's pretty much the synopsis for the movie. But I think there were some missing parts about Rob Roy. I didn't look too much into the history of Rob Roy and too much into the legend of Rob Roy because they're both very different things. But did you do any research into Rob Roy, like, and into actually learning about him?
Not really. From the brief amount of research I saw, it was seemed to be pretty different from what was portrayed here in this film. So
Yeah, it wasn't based on. There was a book that came out, I think, 100 years after Rob Roy, like this time period. I think in the 1800s, about this, and apparently they have no relation at all in this. So, Chad asks, was Rob Roy real or just a legend? Both. He's kind of like King Arthur, where there was a real King Arthur, but there were also the legends of King Arthur and his knights of the Round Table. Whereas the real King Arthur wasn't that special at all. There was the legend. I think maybe Robin Hood is real too.
that's what they say.
That's what they say, but yeah, it's kind of like that. So yes to both of your questions there. Anyway, I think we're ready to dive right in and talk about this movie. Are you ready? You feeling good?
Let's
You
get
look
in there.
excited.
Yeah. I'm excited, man.
Did you just wake up?
No. Did you?
No. Did you just finish this on Tubi?
No. Was it on Tubi?
Yeah, it was on Tubi. Of course,
Oh
it's
man,
on
I should have
Tubi.
watched it on Tubi.
Did you buy it?
No, I watched it on the other free one that has a ton of
Canopy?
movies. No.
Oh, Pluto.
Pluto.
This is an anti-Pluto pro Tubi podcast.
I didn't know it was on Tubi. That's my bad. I would have
okay.
chosen Tubi.
You know,
Please don't
what would
shun
you
me.
think? What would you think if I started a little side project called To Be or Not To Be, where I just pick a random To Be movie every week?
I'm here for it. I would love it.
I need to get them to sponsor me, you know, and I seem
You
like the
do.
only way. I got to get it out of here. All right, let's get into the Rob Roy, not To Be talk. To Be talk. That's the other
TV talk.
To Be
Man,
talk. To Be real. Oh man, there's so many
it's
things you can do
clicking.
with To Be.
It's clicking.
I'm all firing on all cylinders over here, even
Yeah.
though I'm sick. Okay, let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about the scenes. What are some of the standout scenes that make this film memorable? What you
Yeah,
got, my guy?
we got quite a few. I thought the script was pretty well written. For the most part. I don't know what you said in your little intro, but I was pretty impressed. It took some dips and turns, along the way, but
Yeah. I think if there were any complaints that I would have about this movie, it's like it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
yeah.
It kind of got
And,
slow and at times.
and there's no comedy like Braveheart.
No, there
It's
is
like
no comedy.
there was
And
like a few things that I laughed at, but it wasn't like comedy.
yeah. So that's my biggest complaint. And like, there are no battles in this movie at all. No
One,
battles. One? Would you consider it a battle?
a battle of wills.
Oh yeah, that battle. I guess so you're talking about that battle. Okay, yeah, the rap battle at the end of the movie between Eminem and we watched the same movie, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Rob Roy, Rob Roy.
No.
What's your?
Um,
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I think where I start is just like you can kind of lump everything into like character introductions. We like meet everybody in these different
Yeah.
scenes, which I think is important. But my first like scene was like Rob getting to like where he's asking for the loan.
Okay.
So
I
did you have some
yeah.
stuff before that?
Well, no, I mean the introduction scenes like I had the Cal Thieves scene as the
Oh yeah.
as my first like intro into Rob Roy and who he is, and um this is the first time I laughed in the movie, so I did think that it was going to be something better than this. Not that I hated this. I did not hate this movie. I'm just saying I feel like I was kind of thrown off by these opening scenes. I was like, okay, I'm into this. I got really into this, especially this where they go to they're like tracking down these Cal thieves who had stole from them. And they're like, yeah, let's just rush them. Let's ambush them. They're asleep. They're drunk. Like, let's just go get them. And Rob's just like, no. I'll just talk to him in the morning. I'll just, just me. Not a
Yeah.
big deal. And so we get a little bit of an idea of who Rob Roy is. And like, he's not some swashbuckling hero. He's got a little bit more sense about him. Some sense that I think kind of gets him in trouble later. Like he's being too sensible, I think, later in the movie. But yeah, we get a little bit of that here, and then he just freaking crushes that dude. Stabs that man so hard. And I was like, hell yeah, let's get this.
It was
So
kind of weird that like I mean I guess it makes sense because he's the leader, but like he was like, no, let's not ambush him and kill him because I know one of the guys, and the guy that died was the guy he knew. So like, why not just ambush him and kill? Like,
yeah,
he's dying anyways.
it's
Like,
to show like he's there's a lot of talk in this movie about honor.
yeah,
And he's like, hey, y'all are free to go. I won't say anything. Just give me the one dude. He's going to die regardless. Or I can take him, I can capture him, but throw down your arms. So everybody just kind of bails on this dude. And he ends up just killing him.
yeah.
So that was
He
my
came
first.
for him, though.
What was that?
He came after him.
He
So
did
like,
come after him. It's not unjustified.
yeah.
He was stealing. And yeah, I don't know. And then the second thing I had was the Cunningham's introduction.
Yeah,
So that like duel scene with him and what was it Duncan?
Guthrie.
Guthrie.
Yeah.
Guthrie, that piece of garbage
Man.
with crazy
For all the Guthries out
teeth
there.
that were already fighting each other inside of his mouth. That's what they were just like bunched up and trying to kill each other. That's all it was. Yeah. So again, got a very different movie, but I love that introduction of Cunningham in this movie because he comes off as like, is the word foppish? Is that a
I think
correct word?
yeah.
And so like very dainty and very like a little lad is what he kind of comes off as, and then he just freaking destroys this dude in this duel, non-lethal duel, but he pretty much embarrasses like the biggest baddest man, Guthrie, in this battle. And it's there's some good conversation in there that I wrote down in some of my quotes, but yeah, that's what I had. Now I'll go to yours.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention you were talking about the very first scene with the cow thieves. Like, I in my research, I came across like some stuff that suggested that Alan Sharp, the screenwriter,
Mhm.
was like thinking of this like a western in Scotland, and like I felt like that kind of jived with the tone even from early on because I was like, as soon as there's like people stealing cows, I was like, oh, horse thieves, like okay, that's a big thing in like the West, and like you gotta go get
Oh yeah.
your horses back and stuff. So like,
I
anyways,
think when you put it like that, it does like if you would just say take this story and insert it into a modern United like a US Western kind of movie, if it works just as
yep.
well. Yeah. There's no
Cunningham was definitely like a Wild West crazy gunslinger too. So
yeah.
that's nice.
So yeah, it does come it reminds me kind of like of Unforgiven, a movie that came out early in the early 90s with Clint Eastwood. It gives me those vibes a lot. Um So yeah, no, that's a good comparison. Any Western would be probably a good pairing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you paired some Westerns with this. I didn't either.
Anywho, yeah. So after that, we've pretty much met everybody at this point. And Rob's got this plan to go to Montrose, or I guess we're just calling these guys by like their
You
title.
c- yeah, Montrose is what they call him in the
Yeah,
I just
but that's
can't
not
couldn't
that's not his name, right?
no, it's like John or something like
John
that.
or James or something
It
basic.
is
Anyways,
James Graham, the fourth
James Grant.
Marquess of Montrose.
But you
But they
can't
just
call
call
him
him
James.
Montrose. That's a lot to remember.
Yeah, we'll say Montrose then.
We'll say Montrose.
Yeah, so he's going to him. He's got this big plan. He's going to borrow 1,000 whatever currency. I don't remember. Pounds? Pounds.
It's
Pounds? Guineas?
it's Scottish. It's guineas, which is 5% of what an English pound was at that time. Which,
But
yeah,
it's not nearly as much money as I'm thinking
no,
it is. Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah, because the
Huh.
Scots were very poor.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Dang. So he was going to get 300 cattle for. Anyways, I'm not going to try to math it,
Yeah,
but
there's a
yeah,
lot of math to do. I'm not doing it.
borrowing 1,000 to get 300 or more cattle, and they were gonna flip them, drive them
And get
wherever.
double the price, right?
Double the price, yeah.
Yeah.
Only was gonna be a fifth of interest or whatever on the 1,000, which not bad. But you kind of get the feeling immediately from Killern that he's gonna do something because he's like he puts his land up against it as part of like the agreement that he's making, whatever they call that legally. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm sure they said it in there, but yeah, it's like 300 acres or whatever.
Yeah,
Of his
300
land.
acres. And once he like raises his eyebrows at that, and you're like, okay, there might be some scheming going on here, which is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
Um, but I do really like Kalern. I thought he was very sleazy, and kind of like the little mastermind behind everything, but
Yeah, he's like a little
staying out of the
finger.
focal point. Yeah, Littlefinger. That's a good comparison. Pulling the strings. So we kind of get the first like inkling of that, but Rob is like feeling good, thinking like this is going to be great for our people. We're going to have a great winter and not be cold and starving. But you get the sense that that's not going to play out the way he has in his mind. Um, and that Cunningham's going to be like a big part of that.
Yeah.
It is.
It's interesting to me that the guy that plays Killern, Brian Cox, was also in Braveheart, and he was a much different character in that movie. He was like a father figure to the William Wallace. He's barely in the movie, but he is like briefly for maybe
You
5-10
got that
minutes.
crazy eye.
Oh, he does have that crazy eye. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, normal eye here, but yeah, very different. But I'm glad he was in both. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's, like I said, they didn't exist in the 90s. Scottish actors didn't exist in the 90s. So apparently, because they got an Irishman to play Rob Roy.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you can. But I was not trying to jump ahead to recast or anything, but I was trying to think of just somebody like Liam Neeson is so big.
He is. Okay. Thank you for saying that. Because there was one point he like walked in a room next to somebody. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and like when he's in the
Huge.
tavern in those scenes, he's like heads
ducked.
like scraping the ceiling. I was just like, I know he's big, but I know y'all also shot this to make him look even bigger. And I just when I was trying to think about like who do we recast for this, I was like, I don't know who's massive like him. Like I couldn't think of anybody, but anyway.
Yeah, he's 6'4", but they make him look huge in this movie. I mean, 6'4" is tall, but they make him look so big.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know how tall Tim Roth is. He has to be like, I'm gonna say he's like 5'10".
Yeah, that sounds about right. He seems pretty av.
He's 5'8". He's even shorter than that.
Whoa, okay, little guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy.
Just a little
I think
guy.
the wig gives him a couple extra inches.
Right. Those wigs, man.
Those wigs were nuts, man.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of my first scene, like going for the money, getting the money, and then like it gets crazy right after that because Killearn's like making his friend Alan like wait. And then like he's there by himself. Some of this, some of that, some of that bullshit. Oh, we got to give you coin instead of like this credit, I guess, which was the plan.
Yeah.
And once he takes that, like this man is not making it home.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And
One way or the other.
Yeah, one way or the other. They did have him set up. There was like a Y or fork in the road, and he was like, they don't even tell you. I don't feel like they explained it to you up to that point, like that he would even like second guess taking this money back. Or I know they keep talking about his friend being like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Virginia. And but I never put two and two together until after that, and that that was even a possibility that he could run off with the money and just go on this boat to America.
Yeah. It was kind of weak. You never really thought that he had like any sort of like allegiance problem, or
Right? Yeah.
would turncoat like that. It seemed like just like something that Killearn and crew could use to be like, well, he was going to America, like, I don't know. I guess he's gone.
He kept
Just to
talking
cast
about
some
it.
doubt,
Yeah.
But yeah, that leads like right into my next scene was just like that whole like chase of him happening by Cunningham while
Yep.
like everybody at home is like celebrating a little prematurely that they've secured this loan, even though they don't actually have the money yet.
Yeah.
But I did like that scene a lot. That might have been my favorite scene in the movie, where like they're
They're
like
meeting or in the
going back
woods?
and forth
Oh, going back
between
and forth.
like the people celebrating and him getting chased for his life. I thought it, and the music happening during that. I thought all that was really well constructed.
Do you think if you had a gun and you were 7 feet away from a person, you would miss?
In the 1700s, probably.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. I was like, with this kind of gun, maybe. Was
Yeah,
he trying to miss? Like try and scare this guy off? I wouldn't have. I would have been
I
like,
don't think so.
I've got $1,000. I've got 1,000 pounds in my pocket. There ain't no way I'm
I
letting
think he
some.
just got really well, maybe not really. He just got unlucky. Like,
Yeah.
but it did take me a long time. Like, I dwelled on that for a really long time. I was like, "You missed."
Yeah. Made
How
me
did
so
you miss?
mad. I was like, no, I know this is for the movie, but he was right there.
Yeah, and
You idiot.
if you didn't feel good about it, like save it for when you're a little closer. You
Yeah.
could put it in his chest. But weapons, so
Weapons.
unviable.
People are so like he could have waited an extra day or something. He could have probably went back to Rob Roy and be like, dude, the guy only wanted to give me like real money. I don't want to take this. I didn't want to take it. I didn't feel good about it.
Felt
He's
the
just
pressure, man.
impatient.
Like the used car salesman. Like you got to take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Act now.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
It was a good move.
It was a good move. It was smart. Obviously, they were playing him the whole time. So,
Yeah.
the plot thickens at this
Yeah.
point. So now he's like, Rob Roy's like, oh no, my
What happened
money.
to my boy? And
Now
the money.
I owe $1,000 and I don't have the money to do so or the
Yeah.
cows to sell. So give me another 1,000 and I'll do
He
this.
did. He did. He was like, just give me, I need more money, and I promise I'll make it up to you.
I'm good for it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work, bro.
No.
Not a chance.
What's your next one? The death of Al. I had the death of Alan as my scene. What was the next one you had?
Yeah. After that, I guess for me was Rob on the run, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
Like you said, he goes back, asks for more money, doesn't go so well, ends up like putting the knife to Archie's throat to get away.
He is a squirmy guy, Liam
Yeah.
Neeson, for being such a big guy. He gets out of a lot of situations that he probably shouldn't
He
get out of.
does. One in a very spectacular fashion.
Yeah, that one was awesome. That one was pretty cool. I was like, okay, good for you. But yeah, now he goes on the run. He puts the knife up to him, and they're like, okay, you're in. Montrose is like, Cunningham, you're in charge. Go get him. I want my money back. And
Yeah.
Cunningham's like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Finally, something to do. That's what he's. You get the sense from when we first met him, they ask about like his vices or his sins or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the sense that like he's like, not only because of his swordplay, but just like his aura. Like, this man's killed some people before.
Oh yeah.
So like when he gets a chance to hunt somebody down, like he's happy.
He's in. It's almost like Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards a little bit. Like he's got that. He's like, I don't really care about like what the war's all about or anything. I just like hunting people down and finding people. That's what I'm good
at. I want to use the war as an excuse to do what I like to do.
Yes.
and that not go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we get the whole hunt. Rob takes off into the Highlands by himself for like a day.
For a day, yeah.
Or something like.
Timeline of this movie is the only thing that I'm like a little like. It feels like everything happens within 3 days.
Yeah, And how like close are we to like where they keep meeting with Montrose and everything? Because like most of that's happening like they're walking
Yeah. Oh yeah.
on horseback to go do that. So in reality, it's probably like months that this
Especially
actually.
because she like knows she's like the pregnancy timelines of things, and
Everybody knows they're pregnant on day one in this movie.
yeah, it is crazy.
Which
Hey,
I
women know
can't.
your bodies,
I
right?
can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't say anything about that. So maybe that's facts.
Yeah. But then we get to the scene.
Yeah, the scene, which was very unfortunate because there's like a comment along the way like, "What if they come in by boats?" And he's like, "Ah, nah, probably won't happen." And what
And
happens?
then they come in, and then his freaking brother falling asleep. I don't know if anything would have changed because his brother kind of sucks.
Yeah, he would have just got himself killed earlier,
Yeah.
but
And
unless he would have like gone back and rallied the troops, maybe. But even still, probably.
no, they don't have horses in that clan at
Yeah.
all. So I don't think he
And
would have made it. He
why are they like living so far away from everybody else too on like their own estate? Like,
I mean, wouldn't you? Didn't you see those people? They're coughing all over the place. I wouldn't want to be hanging
yeah,
out anywhere close to those people
well,
because then
uh,
you end up sounding like me,
yeah.
getting a cough.
Is that where you got sick from
I did
watching
from
Rob Roy?
Scottish people.
From the Scottish people and Rob Roy.
Yeah,
Transmutal, man. You gotta watch it.
you do.
Um,
And the scene that, yeah, the scene. They
yeah, the scene.
the scene. Cunningham comes and destroys Rob Roy's house and has a confrontation with Mary, and that is it.
Yeah.
Don't love it.
With
Didn't love it. Because
Killerman
and the thing that
watching in
sucks
the
is like,
door weirdly.
yeah, the thing that sucks is that it is such a huge plot point to the
It
movie.
is
Yeah.
for like yeah.
It
But I
is the
will
plot
say like
point.
the probably the part in the movie that made me like most emotional was right after when she's in the water with like
Mm,
Alistair and like they're like yelling at each other back and forth like
about not telling
yeah
Rob
about
and all
not
that stuff.
telling and like
Yeah.
him like realizing that that's what happened to her like slowly like I thought that like their acting right there was probably the best in the whole movie
Yeah,
like
I
being
agree
in
with
the water
you.
together but yeah
It's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate that
yeah
that was such a big plot point for this movie.
yeah
It's
and I think there is without spending too much time on it I think there is a difference between like it happening and how much you like show it happening and
yeah, or I
um,
mean, you'd go like the Patriot route, or you go the Gladiator route and just kill,
yeah
like kill a son,
that'd be great
or yeah,
I mean
where not great, but like kill
you
the
know
brother,
yeah
or I don't know. Like there are many ways to get Rob Roy to want revenge.
yeah
But he never even talks about revenge. Even when he finds out later, it's still like he's all honor and trying to, I don't know,
yeah I
spin it so that
understand
it's
it to an
not.
extent because it does like if you're villainizing like it is a next level step
Yeah. Oh yeah. This
I
guy was bad
understand that
enough, and then yeah,
yeah like killing someone like is yes you're a villain but like it does take it to the next level I don't always think that we should go there but anyways
yeah. Braveheart almost does it better, like because there
just
was.
yeah
So I don't know.
but I'm
Yeah,
glad she was in the rest of the movie too I'll
she
say
was
that
in the
too
rest of the
'cause
movie
she's one of
because
my favorite parts of the movie
yeah, she's very good. Even though my review probably makes people think otherwise, but my review on Letterbox of this, but no, she's good. I love Jessica Lange.
you
Um,
hated on her on
I
Letterbox
did hate on her a little bit
gosh
in
I'm gonna have
Letterbox.
to go get you bro
Oh my gosh,
you on
don't
Letterbox
like don't like the don't like that.
Nope.
What's your is your next scene the duel?
Let's
It's my
see. I think
favorite.
no, I did have
Oh, the one scene.
to learn
Oh yeah.
when they kidnapped him. I had that. I thought that was pretty important.
And Mary freaking stabs him in the neck
Yeah,
like a
awesome.
badass.
Yeah, and then Alistair drowns him and says that she killed him.
Which, yeah, okay. So I get why he did it and everything. Like, obviously, he's angry about the situation and everything. But now she thinks that she killed a man. Like, that's a lot to put on a person, which she
Yeah,
really didn't kill him.
he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He
I
got
don't,
his.
it didn't seem like it affected her too much either. Like, she was okay with it.
I kind of liked it. Both of the people who are in on the secret at this point, like they both get their shot at like one of the scumbags. So
I did think her plan, though, was a little messy. I don't think it was well thought out. When they were like, she's gonna make him admit to all these things. I was like, how? What leverage do you have? Yeah, because all the leverage that you have is, I don't know.
there wasn't hardly any.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
about to say
it
there's no
turned
leverage.
so fast. Like once he realized that she was pregnant, like she lost what little that she may have had.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a weird thing, and so she stabs him, rightfully
Yeah,
so.
as she should.
As she
R.I.P.
should.
Betty. We'll just mention her real quick.
Oh yeah, in passing,
Yeah,
the
she was.
Archie's little chambermaid love interest.
Got done so dirty in the movie, so I just want to mention her because
Yeah.
she was a very small part, but man, so mistreated. But yeah, that was when he found out. No, is that when he found out?
He finds out
No,
after,
no,
yes.
no. She was about to confess to him that she was assaulted, but then like he took off.
Yeah.
So
How crazy is it though? We mentioned Betty. This made me laugh. It's not the funniest thing, but Mary's like, let me go get Betty. She's at the end of her tether, and then the next scene is she's literally at the end of the rope.
literally hanging. I didn't even
Yeah,
catch that.
I was like, oh well,
Dang.
that's foreshadowing in less than 5 seconds.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
She's about at the end of her tether. Well, maybe actually.
Yeah, I was like, oh, there she is.
She finally got there.
She
Yikes.
hanging around.
Yeah. I think the only other thing I had like any mention of before the final duel was when the guys show back up another time to like mess with or look for Rob and mess with the townspeople or whatever, and Alistair like takes the shot.
I've never
I
been
was
so
like,
mad at a character this
"Yeah."
year in the movies
It was so
than
bad.
yeah, I was so pissed. I was like, why?
Why?
Ain't
It's not
small,
like
miss
you could
small.
just disappear after like taking the shot. Like
Yeah,
you're
thank
bringing the
God for
heat.
that mist. That
Really?
Scottish
They'd all
mist.
been dead.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Oh, Alistair pissed me off. And then I just remembered, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. But like uh badass scene when he gets captured after Alistair gets killed and then he escapes.
Yeah, the escape was pretty cool.
The escape was pretty awesome.
I didn't like some parts of it, but the way it started was
When he
like
jumps over the bridge with the rope attached to
uses his
Cunningham, I was like,
neck.
yeah.
I was wondering though, do you think that would like? I
Snap
mean,
his neck.
how far do you think Liam Neeson fell?
I don't think he fell that far.
He's what? What? How? 250?
250 pounds?
Yeah, 275. 6'4",
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 6'4", every bit of that.
275.
There was a part where he's getting, like, bandaged up, and I thought we were seeing titties at one point, but it was just Rob Roy's titties, and I was like, damn, bro, you got some titties.
Liam Neeson's jacked
Just-
chest. Yeah, yeah. I
Got him
remember
up there.
exactly
That's a solid B on that, bro. Um,
I did wonder, like, would that, like, not only snap his neck, but, like, maybe decapitate him? Like,
I mean, internal decapitation, definitely. Yeah, like, there's no way.
the force of him, like, just jumping off of a bridge with, yeah. But anyways,
But then he escapes, and it's great.
yeah, he got away.
And I have we'll talk about a moment in that scene as well. I hope. Yeah, the little tauntaun experience we've got there. Yeah, and then we get down to the duel, which is the I guess they agree like to do this duel. Rob Roy goes with the Duke of Argyle, and agrees to like meet up with Cunningham so that they can settle this like men, with swords and just duel each other, sword fight in a room. Which was awesome. I liked it.
I thought it was pretty good. It did seem like, and I didn't find anything about this, but like, it seemed like a lot of like really long shots in that, like that were authentic, as that was going down. Versus, a lot of action sequences, they break it up into
Yeah.
little pieces. So
One of the things that Roger Ebert says in his review is he talks about this duel, and he talks about it being, they could have done like the swashbuckling thing where, you see like a pirate movie of old, or old Robin Hood movie where it's just cling, 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 back and forth for a lot. And this does not do this at all. This, I mean, maybe for you, and again, it is Star Wars Day, but to bring this up, it's very reminiscent of the end of the Duel of the Fates scene in Phantom Menace, where Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn are facing off. It reminded me a lot of that, and I wonder if they took notes.
maybe.
And maybe Liam Neeson's like, "Hey, I did this really badass fight scene back in '95.
Maybe you've seen it.
Maybe you've seen it. Can you act a little bit like this?" Because like the movement that Darth Maul does, like while he's waiting on those like shield things to go down or whatever, Tim Roth is doing that exactly. It's
Yeah.
very like lion like looking at his prey, like waiting
Mm-hmm.
to advance on him. It really reminded me of that. But no, I liked it. I thought it was a real fight scene, with a lot of tension.
Yeah. No music.
No music.
No, not much banter at all either. Like, it was just like, we're fighting. Like,
And then you got that badass line. He's like, "It shall not be given," or like about quarter.
yeah, quarter shall not be asked for or given.
Yeah. And he has the sword under it. It was awesome.
He just loves grabbing swords in this movie.
Dude, he does. That was cool though.
Want to see my party trick?
Yeah, that's his
We'll
party
see it
trick.
again later.
He's just got like super callus on his hand from grabbing swords all the time.
Yeah.
It's great. But Rob Roy wins in the end. Spoiler alert for all you people that didn't watch the movie. Too bad.
A little bit more fairy tale ending than maybe
Than
something
Braveheart,
else.
yeah. Then yeah. But dude, he like when he cuts him, did you like look at it like when he's on the ground and you see like
It was gashed.
yeah, you could see like the bone and like, oh god, that was gnarly, but kind of awesome. So I liked it. Anything else that we might have missed?
I don't think so. I think that's the mains.
Yeah. The more we talk about this, the more I kind of like this movie. Than I did.
When I read the premise or synopsis and having never heard of it at all, I was like, okay, how good can this honestly be? But I was pretty surprised.
We almost saw Liam Neeson's dick in this too.
I think
I rewound it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, did I just see his dick? I rewound it. I had to know.
Wasn't there?
I didn't. They were very good about like not seeing it. So good for them.
Man, I didn't rewind it, but I was pretty certain that I saw it at one point.
Oh, when he's rolling on the ground, like when they have him captured. Is that?
Oh no! I'm talking about when he.
Oh, when he's having sex with his wife.
No! When he gets out the water from.
Oh, you might see it there. Like you might see a little bit.
It's like the Braveheart style, like so far away.
Yeah, so far away that we're not going to count it.
I'm pretty sure I saw it there though.
I'll go back. I'm not afraid.
I
I'll go back. I'm always looking for
wasn't
one.
risking rewinding anything on Pluto.
Oh yeah, you
Had to do
cannot
20
rewind.
more
That's
minutes
again,
of
you
ads.
cannot rewind on Pluto. Pluto is so inferior to Tubi because it will basically restart everything if you try that. It's awful.
Yeah.
Pluto sucks. Get out of here. All right, who's your favorite character in this movie, or was there a scene stealer that really took it?
Yeah, we're gonna disagree on this, but I did like Alistair quite a bit.
Oh, I loved Alistair. I
I
thought.
thought you say you hated him because
Wait, no, not Alistair. I thought you said
the brother.
Archibald.
No.
I thought you said Archibald, which I love him, and he's awful.
Yes, you love him in the most. You did a great villain.
Yes, like a great villain role. He's so good in this.
Nomination. Yeah.
You can't help what's written for your character to do, but Jesus,
he
he's a
amped
good
it up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he man, this is completely unrelated, but it just popped in my head. I could not when he was like when he got the final blow and was like dying, all I could think about was Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah.
When he's dying in Reservoir. Oh man. Anyways. Yeah, no, I'm putting a nod in for the annoying brother.
Yeah, I hate it. He pissed me off so bad that I was like, I can't even like you because I know you're doing a good job of being this guy, but yeah, no, he is really good in those like really emotional scenes, especially with Mary. Like even when they're sitting around the fire talking about it, and he's just giving her eyes. There's a lot of good face acting in this movie. Yeah, he's just giving Mary eyes and stuff, and I was like, no, he's good.
Just trying to.
Yeah. Brian Cox is great in this too. Like Killearn, he's a good slime ball. Even like especially when he's been captured by Rob Roy. Like, yeah, I feel like he's doing some of his best stuff there, like being just a shit heel and not trying to play innocent and be like, oh, it was all him. It was all him.
Right.
Yeah.
He's always trying to put it on somebody else and weasel out of it. He does a great job.
Anybody else we might be missing? What'd you think about your boy from Alien?
My boy from Alien.
Chestburst.
Oh. I can't help but I've been doing a rewatch of Black Mirror, and I can't help but like only see him as the giant face in that very first episode of Black Mirror. But yeah, he was good. I mean,
yeah, he's fine. He's a great actor. He's just.
But Argyle and Montrose were like, they did fine with what they were given. Like, it was fine.
They were fine. I was just like, Alien.
Yeah. I didn't even think that one time. Shame on me, but
no, not shame on you. You're just not annoying like me. All right. Memorable lines that stood out to you. Quotes.
Yeah, there's some pretty good ones. And I think I missed some of them and couldn't go back and find them, but I've got a few here. So
Pluto.
Love is a dunghill, Betty, and I am but a cock that climbs upon it to crow.
That's such a good line. And he delivers it so well.
I stopped the movie and just laughed when he said that. I think that was my favorite quote in the whole movie. Let's see what else we got.
You should put that on a dating profile.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that would really. Love is a dunghill,
really great, man.
And I'm just a cock that sits on top of it to crow. Yeah, I think that's good.
That's all I'm going to put on there.
Yes, that's it.
One thing on the profile. Come and get it. Let's see what do we got here. Rose towards the end after Archie got his neck hung from and couldn't really talk. He mentions the duel to Archie and he's like, let's do it. He finally like talks. And then Montrose says, you speak, Archibald. One must never underestimate the healing power of hatred. I was like, yeah.
Good line. Good line.
What about you? Let's hear some.
Mary, I love this line from Mary. I mean, I didn't include the Archibald line before it, um, but basically, Mary says, "I will think on you dead until my husband makes you so, and then I will think on you no more."
Mm,
I was
yeah,
just like, she's a badass woman.
yeah, yeah. After he said some fucked up shit
Fucked
to
up
her.
shit. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, nah, this is nothing. So
He was
let's
so good.
see. I did like that. This is the introduction part to Cunningham, and the Duke of Argyle says, "So, Mr. Cunningham, what are the principal sins that distress your mother? Was it dice, drink, or are you a buggerer of boys?" And he responds with, "It is years since I buggered a boy, and in my own defense, I must add, I thought him a girl at the moment." Of entry, which is crazy. And then Argyle says, "Do you hear that, Will? Young Cunningham here is unable to tell arse from quim. What say you to that?" And then he says, "I've heard that many Englishmen have that same difficulty," which was awesome. Fuck that dude.
Also, I will say quim, new word for me. From
Quim,
this
yeah.
movie.
A lot
I
of
said it a
quim
couple
talk.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
What else you got?
I've got, let's see. Uh Montrose and Argyle are like going back and forth at each other. And let's see, who says this to who? Montrose says to Argyle, "Great men such as yourself draw rumors as shite draws flies." And then Argyle retorts, "You are the shite, Montrose, and the flies upon it."
Yes, I love that. There's a line that Rob Roy says at some point. I think he's talking to Mary, and she's asking him like, "Hey, why don't you just go to Argyle for help?" And he says, and she even repeats it to Argyle at one point, like the about like the lamb. Do you remember that? Did you have that written down?
Something with the wolves and the lambs.
Basically, just saying they're all the same when it
Right.
comes down to it. It was kind of a good line, and I didn't write it
Yeah,
down.
I didn't write it down either. I know what you're talking about though.
I did write down, "Do you know how fine you are to me, Mary McGregor?" I like that. Their
Yeah, it was cute.
romantic moments were very good together. I
Yeah.
liked them. Yeah,
They were like way horn dogs, but they were also like very cute.
super horn dogs, man. When
Man,
they're up on the rock, like leaning up against that rock, whew,
kids like just went
they
away.
were like, "Get out of here!" Yeah, that's
Get out
love,
of here.
baby.
We gotta
That's love. That's some. They were, yeah, good for them. Is all I have to say.
the stones, make you hard, is what
The
they say.
stones make you hard, and the women fertile. That's what she said. Man,
So it was his kid, right?
I'm saying it is. Yeah,
Because they had
of the
sex at the
stone.
Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah, she
Again,
was already pregnant.
that's what I'm saying. She was
Yeah,
already pregnant.
I think she was.
But I like that part though at the end of the movie when Rob, is getting out. He's going to leave for his duel or whatever. He says, "Hey boys, did you know that there's going to be a new addition to the family?" And talking about her being pregnant, like just being like fully on board and accepting that she's pregnant and happy and all this stuff. And the boys say, "Is it inside you?" And Mary says, "Yes." And Duncan or the boy says, "How does it get out?" And Rob, right before he leaves, says, "Same road that it got in."
Yeah, very funny.
It was
That
very
was
funny.
like a very cool, like indirect way to
Yes,
let her know too, like that
it doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
which I
gonna
was like,
these fears of the bastard kid that I'm gonna disown, like not a reality. So don't
no,
worry
I
about it.
really did like their relationship.
Yeah, it was good.
It was one of that you don't often see in like movies like this or stories like this. There's a mutual respect between the two. Like she's not just in charge of these things. Like she can hold her own, and that's why I think he did leave her for that day. He was like, "No, you'll be fine, like on your own," which obviously he was wrong about. But like, I think he does that knowing that she's a strong woman and she's a badass. So
Yeah. It's if he would have just thought about the naval attack, man.
They always come by sea.
I don't understand. It's Scotland. There's water everywhere, right?
The redcoats are coming, man.
Yeah.
We know. Any other lines that we missed? There that I'm out.
Yeah, I just wrote down one more. There was another funny line somewhere that I could not find.
Is it weeshed?
And my new favorite word.
Yes, it is such a good word.
We'll be saying it all the time now.
Weeshed.
We say shush a lot in my household, particularly when people sneeze. So weeshed it is, you know.
Weeshed.
The only other one I wrote down was another one, Argyle talking to Montrose. I think it was like our first time seeing them together at the fight pit at the beginning. He said, "I tell you, James, I forget how much you dislike me until I'm in your presence."
It's good. It's good. All right. Biggest laugh, cry, scare, or thrill in this movie. What moments packed the biggest emotional punch?
Big punches. I already mentioned, I didn't cry, but the Mary and Alistair moment in the water.
In the water is pretty emotional.
My big emotion. One of my biggest laughs that I haven't mentioned, when we first meet Kilern, he's doing a running kind of shuffle, not like an actual run, just like a little trot with his hands down at his side, and he's blinking really weirdly. I don't know what it was, but it was just this awkward blinking run, and I just died laughing.
Man, that's kind of what got me in the beginning of this movie. There's a scene where the lady that they had to restrain in the cow thieves thing, she goes and picks up the dagger and is like, ha ha ha, and then she throws it. I was like, oh, you didn't want that?
I thought she was gonna come back around. They kind of
I thought too.
Made her into something or suggested, but
anyways. Oh, I did laugh. It's pretty funny. Kilern, when Guthrie is like, yeah, I shagged his sister, and he was like, yeah, he probably did too.
Probably did too.
That's pretty awesome.
What an idiot.
Guthrie sucks, man.
Yeah. Let's see what else. The thrill, I guess for me, biggest thrill was when he dove off the bridge, anchored to that dude's neck.
Oh yeah. That whole scene, him going through the water, down those waterfalls and everything. It's I don't know how you're gonna get away. That water's not moving that fast.
It's really not. But luckily, the guns in 1700s give you
not that great
leeway. But yeah.
Anything else?
That's all for emotion for me.
Okay, yeah, same here. Okay, now it's time for the what the fuck moments of this movie, and there are a few.
Yeah, I think you've already alluded to one, which is my biggest one, is in the very scene that we're talking about.
Yeah,
climbing in the cow.
Dead cow in the riverbank, and just slices her open and gets inside
like a stick.
Yes, with a stick.
It was just a stick.
I mean, and there's maggots, and then
it got all the stomachs out. I saw at least two. So
yes, there were a couple stomachs in there, just little balls. And then the people, I did see this in goofs, that the guy was like, "Oh, we got to get downwind of this," and it's no, you don't want to get downwind of it. You want to get upwind of it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to.
Oh, he said the wrong thing. I get it.
He said downwind instead of upwind. Yeah.
Yeah, you should watch Lion King.
Yeah, see, that's what I think of anytime I hear downwind. I'm like, you don't want to be downwind.
Yeah.
I don't want to be near Pumbaa. I don't want to be downwind of Pumbaa. And I definitely, it was super gross, chat. He gets in this freaking Highland cow and is just living in there.
Yeah.
And they have a camera in there at one. Ugh.
Can't imagine. The fact that he can climb up in there and not be coughing, vomiting, making no noise.
Whew. Yeah, and cut it open with a stick is just wild. I mean, he had to have been like sitting there for a while.
And also, like, it took him quite a while to climb in. Like, I feel like the guy that, like, the first guy on the scene was like close enough that he would have been like, "I see you.
I
Your
see you in
legs are
that cow.
sticking out of this cow." But
Like, how did he fit in there so quickly? I don't know. It's crazy.
huge cow.
I mean, it's a huge cow. Yeah, cows are
Has to
huge.
be 6'4",
6'4". I didn't even think about this.
and that's climbable space.
That's crazy.
6'4".
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he could have been like scrunched. It's
Also, does he eat? Does Alan eat shit at the beginning of the movie? Because I'm pretty sure he does.
yes, he does. Right?
He just
does.
picks up the shit, tastes it, and is like, "Yeah, they're like a day ahead of us."
Another moment when I thought we were going to be getting a very different movie when he
Wild.
tasted the shit. Like that's like first 2 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. This movie's wild. I love this. I love when a movie delivers on things like this. Like it's the
Yeah.
lady throwing the dagger, or the like it's just crazy stuff like that. Not a very funny movie by any means, but yeah, this guy just picks up shit and eats it. Then decides, you can just feel it. Like I've seen that. Like you can just pick it up and feel like, oh, it's not warm anymore. Okay, no,
If
the
you're
way
gonna
this,
be eating,
the way this tastes tells me that they're a day ahead of us.
if you're gonna be tasting it, we should get a more precise window.
Oh yeah,
You probably knew a day or two like without eating it, right?
yeah.
Like that's a pretty big window of time. If you're tasting it, we should get to the hour mark, you know?
Is this the grossest movie we've seen so far this year? I mean, him getting in the cow alone is pretty bad. It's got to be the grossest movie we've seen so far. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've got shit eating, and we've got getting inside of a dead, like not just a new dead cow, which would have been bad enough, but like a rotting dead cow because there were like maggots and stuff over there too.
Yeah. That was very gross.
It's super gross.
Surely we've got something else though.
This movie's wild. We'll go back. We'll go back and go on our grossness meter.
Yeah.
Best music moment or score. This score was done by Carter Burwell. People might recognize him. He's done a lot of work with like the Coen brothers, I think. But is there anything in this movie that really stood out to you?
The only thing that stood out was that one song that I've already mentioned that was happening while they were doing like the party and Alan running for his life.
Yeah.
Like the girl that was singing it, she was like apparently actually part of a Scottish folk group.
Oh, they did.
And it was very like on the nose that the songs, like the character in the song is also named Alan, and he is lost to sea, which kind of is what happened to Alan after his body got dumped. So, and it was beautiful, like
yeah. Let's just go sink some people,
Yeah.
I had the opening, like when we first get it, it's it kind of opens the same way that Braveheart opens. It gives you that like powerful Scotland, but they actually filmed in Scotland for this one, unlike Braveheart, where they did not. This one's authentic. You could tell
the wind, bro.
It's crazy. All right.
Some of those shots.
All right, you ready for an F, Marry, Kill?
I'm ready. Is chat ready?
Is chat ready for an F, Marry, Kill? Because we're about to F, marry, and kill.
And kill.
And kill. All right, your choices are William Wallace, Rob Roy, and Shrek.
What a curveball.
Right?
Ooh. Ooh. I think I'm going to start with kill. Who am I going to kill? I mean, I feel like the only of the three of them that's kind of like mean that like wouldn't make for a good partner is Shrek. Like Shrek's pretty mean.
Yeah. He is kind of mean. He just wants you to get out of the swamp.
Yeah, he wants to be alone. Like,
that's all three of these guys just want the English out of Scotland. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah. But you see, like, I mean, I don't think we really see much romance in Shrek 1. It's been a while. Wasn't it like towards the end? Yeah,
Towards the
when
end, we get
she's
a
like
lot
an
more.
actual, when she's an actual ogre. Like,
They have layers, man.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna stick with Kill Shrek,
Okay.
and then it comes down to which love scene was more passionate, and which one would be a better. Okay, I think Rob Roy is the Mary, and then I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
William Wallace is the F.
Very interesting. I like it.
Are
I
you
think
guys the same?
I think I F Rob Roy
Okay.
because I was into that. Like it was they're horny for each other
Yeah.
and whatever, you know. Also kilts, guys. Like that's an interesting easy access, like just sliding up like she just slid up under that kilt and just started she was like, "Look what I got."
Just right there.
She just grabs hold of that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I F Rob Roy. I think I kill William Wallace.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I'm doing that because it's because of the Mel Gibson of it all or not. But
Yeah.
I think I'm marrying Shrek. I think Shrek's a good. I think once you peel back those layers of the onion, you get a nice little husband there.
I love onions too. So like,
I love onions
but
and I love Funyuns.
I will say for the record that decision from me was not Mel Gibson. That was William Wallace.
No, I agree. That's what I'm trying to decide. Am I?
Yeah. Man, that it was steamy though. The little scene that we got with Mel and his lady
Yeah.
in Braveheart, it was steamy too. So
Literal steam was behind
like,
them off of the
yeah,
yeah.
off of the fake Scotland
Yeah.
marsh or whatever.
I was really proud with my F Mary Kill today. So
I'm very proud.
Shrek.
Shrek, man, what a curveball.
Man, I don't
So
I
Shrek, I
would
love you, but
I would not want to bottom for Shrek though. I'll just put that out there. Oh man. Woo. Woof. All right, who gave the best performance in this movie?
I think it's Mary, Jessica Lange.
Okay, yeah.
So I nothing taken away from Tim Roth. He was excellent, deserved the nomination, but she really got me. I thought she was every scene she was bringing it. So
There were only a couple times. So I love Jessica Lange. She's wonderful in Tootsie. She's wonderful in pretty much everything that she's ever been in. For whatever reason, she kind of had like a weak '90s. Like it's nice to see her in a movie like this. And definitely a weak 2000s. But like there were times when I felt like she could not nail the accent, and it really took me out of it. But like those scenes that you're talking about with Alistair and her, like she is so good. And her face, like her face,
yeah,
she could not speak in this movie, and it would have been great. Like she's good, but there were a couple times she's saying some lines, and I'm like, you just didn't quite do it for me. Tim Roth's amazing in this,
yeah,
and being a fucking bastard. There is no way around this. Like, yeah,
foppish fuck.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about him. He's too good in this movie at being a bad dude. Yeah. All right, 2020. Let's do a recast if we want to. 95 recast or a 2025 recast. Would you? Okay. You could do both. I did a little bit of both. So
I've got just a few for 95. Might be a little too young, but I said young James McAvoy as Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said I thought Guy Pearce would be very good for Archie.
Ooh, see, I had Gary Oldman as Archie in the 95. I was like, Gary Oldman could be a really bad guy. I'm thinking of like The Professional. Yeah.
I was thinking of like, I know Guy Pearce is pretty sinister, kind of looking even, but also could pull some of that like Priscilla.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a good one.
5 in, if you will. So.
And what's his co-star in Priscilla too? Mr. Smith or Agent Smith from The Matrix.
Yeah,
What is
Hugo.
his Hugo Weaving.
Exactly.
He'd be a good one too. A good
Yeah,
oh man, he'd be really good as
he
Archie.
is a good guy.
I had Emma Thompson maybe as Mary McGregor because she's
Ah,
amazing. She can be anything,
yeah.
and she's done Scottish before. She was Merida's mom in Brave. So
I don't think I knew that.
yeah.
Nice.
Did you do 2025?
I got quite a few for 25. I'm not super keen on many of them, but I just kind of went like Scottish people.
Oh yeah, that's what I tried to do too. I was like, let's make this thing actually Scottish.
Yeah. The only one there's two that I liked. Bring Brian Cox back. I know I just said Scottish people, but bring him back as Montrose, I thought would be
Mhm.
cool. But then Scottish for Mary, I had Karen Gillan. I thought
Ooh,
she.
I had Rose Leslie from Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
the redhead. So
yeah,
we're on the same wavelength.
yeah. And then everybody else, I picked some people that I would like to see in it. I didn't really know where to put them. I have Henry and Cusick.
Ooh, yeah.
I just said maybe as Alan, like the friend, like something minor.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine him as like one of the bigger roles, but I'd love to see him in it. Um, Robert Carlyle as Argyle.
Oh, I almost put him down.
He's
I shit you not, I erased it. Robert
as
Carlyle is
Argyle.
great. Did I have him as Argyle? No, I had Peter Capaldi as Argyle. No, I had that guy as Killern.
As Killern. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then
I
I
could
put
do that too.
then I put Gerard Butler in there as Killern. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
I,
like to see him.
I wanted to put Gerard Butler in there, but I couldn't really place it.
Did you put James McAvoy in this one too?
No, I didn't.
Man,
I left it
I
out.
didn't. I was like, oh, James McAvoy's so jacked out of his mind. Let's put him in. Like he's William Wallace and
Guthrie.
he's Rob Roy. He's 5'7".
Yeah, he's tiny.
I just saw a picture of James McAvoy next to Daniel Radcliffe. It makes Daniel Radcliffe in my mind is so small. Because he's like James McAvoy's towering over Dan Radcliffe. So Dan Radcliffe has to be
He's like
5'4".
5'3".
Yeah, 5'3", maybe.
Jeez, that's
Like
crazy.
somebody's lying about their ages or their heights. So yeah, pretty bad. What else did I have? Oh, I had Gary Oldman as Montrose. Bring him back for that.
Yeah.
And Callum Turner. Do you know who Callum Turner is? I had him as like an Archie. I'm trying to think of a good movie that Callum Turner was in that you might know. He was in Fantastic Beasts. He's the brother of the main guy.
Redmayne.
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne.
Brother. Oof, it's been a while. I don't
He's
remember.
got very like very slit like eyes, and I was like, that would be good because Archie reminds me kind of like, especially the way Tim Roth plays him, is like a lion.
Yeah.
That's all I could think of the whole time. I was like, he's very Scar.
Prowling. Always.
Yeah, he's like Scar. Yeah, that's it. That's all I had. Anybody else that we missed?
I put Richard Madden as Rob, but I don't really like him that much. But
that's better. He's younger. I like that.
I don't think he's like big and like well, I mean he's kind of got the stoic down, but I don't think he's big enough. Maybe is where my qualm is.
I don't know if there's anybody out there that's big enough to be
true
Liam Neeson.
But I like him okay. He's kind of like straight faced and like would fit the like not much humor vibe going on in the movie. So anyways, that's all I got.
Okay. Gerard Butler is 6'2".
Okay.
So he's taller than I thought. Any fun facts about this movie that you learned?
Whew, I didn't find a whole lot, but
there's not a lot.
Yeah. You already said shot on location in Scotland. Super fun. I I already mentioned about the Western that Alan Sharp said he was going for. So wow, we're really cutting through most of them. Oh, there's an early moment in when they're bringing back the cattle, where one of the cows like horns hooks Liam Neeson. I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
or
I
not.
did see that. Yeah,
I saw it immediately and was like, "Is he
he
hurt?"
looked pissed. He looked pissed when it happened.
Yeah.
Too.
And there was like a little note about that was not planned and an accident, but it made it into the final cut. So kind of cool.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I found that I'll mention, which is kind of fun, I guess, as a 90s person, uh, I don't know if you remember the fun stuff section on the Windows 95 computers and operating systems, but this trailer was part of that.
That's
Fun
crazy.
stuff.
I do remember the fun stuff section.
Yeah,
I probably watched this trailer a million times then,
just because it was there. Yeah.
Yeah, just because it was right there.
Same.
The only thing that I had to add was one Moaning Myrtle from the Harry Potter series. She's in this. She actually has a speaking line. Her name is Morag. She has a line. I think she's the wife of the guy that
The
died.
wife of the guy that got killed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Morag. They mention her so many times, and I was like, "Who are they talking about?" And then
Yeah.
finally, like, it clicked at some point after he died.
That's Moaning Myrtle.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks kind of like way different to me.
I kind of want to go back and look at her now because I never would have thought.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like, I don't really think this is a fun fact, but because I just kind of assumed with this final scene, when Montrose takes the locket off of Archie's corpse, like that kind of just like makes it that was his son.
Yeah, like his bastard son.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a fun fact or anything. Or
I
not,
did
but
go down that rabbit hole a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't
yeah.
really pick up on enough of that like hints throughout the
Yeah.
movie. They're kind of there. Like
When he did that, I was like, oh yeah, that
yeah,
means
that
something.
supports it. And then they like comment about his mother, like him knowing his mother at some point, or I think you already said it, like when they're
Yeah.
asking about why his mother sent him away and stuff like that. So I was like, okay,
Yeah. So
kind of like maybe a little hidden secret for the fans.
All right. Yeah. Like a fine wine and dish. If you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
Okay, I got a few. None of them are Braveheart. I said The Count of Monte Cristo. I thought was.
I almost brought. Whenever you said Guy Pearce, I was like Count of Monte Cristo. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like pretty similar, like justice for the innocent man, kind of, and then the sword play, kind of at the climax. So
that is a great movie, and I think it is super underrated and didn't get enough love at the time.
Is it remade or being remade currently?
I have no idea.
Anyways, sorry.
I think you're right. I think it is.
But I could have swore I saw something about that somewhere. Did it already come out? Are you looking at it?
2024 is what it says.
Okay, it was bad then because I didn't hear about it.
It's got a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
It's a 3-hour movie. I think it's all in French.
Oh, okay. There had to be something. It's French.
Now we know. It's French. That's why we didn't hear about it.
That's why I didn't hear about it. Okay. I also said Gladiator. Felt kind of like it matches up, same kind of like honorable protagonist fighting with swords. I also threw in A Most Violent Year. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that A24 movie.
I have.
More of a kind of stretch, but same like thematically, like trying to maintain a moral compass as things are being attacked from just corruption, like threatening the family, stuff like that. So, and then I had one kind of jokey one for fun. Kill Bill Volume 1.
Revenge
ends in a sword fight.
Yeah, ends in a sword fight. I love it. No, that's good.
What about yours?
I had Gladiator as well. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Because
Which one was that?
that's the one with Kevin Costner.
Okay.
I'm a big fan. I love that one.
You love
And then I put this one gave me really, I don't know, it gave me Legends of the Fall vibes. Like I almost feel like there was a little bit like there should have been a little bit more romance in this movie. And Legend of the Fall kind of has that.
Yeah, the foundation was definitely there for like, more romance.
Yeah.
The cover, like you said,
The cover.
very romance. But
yeah, but I had Gladiator down as well, and then Shrek, 2.
Shrek 2.
Yeah, because you have Prince Charming.
Mm.
He's kind of like the bad guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. On a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to rewatch this movie?
I was not expecting so much Shrek in this today.
This is a Shrek heavy podcast, baby.
Sorry. So for rewatchability, mine's pretty high, just because first watching.
Yeah.
And I liked it enough that I'm like, yeah, I would love to see it again. So I put it at 4.
Oh wow, I gave it a 2. I don't know.
Nope.
I did
Not-
like this movie. Not like I was just like, I don't know if I'll ever want to watch this again. Like I feel like Braveheart has that more rewatchability just because of the humor and the battle scenes and things. And
just like
this
the
one,
humor better.
I think if there was a little better romance or a little bit more like Robin Hood-ishness to like Rob Roy, then I would probably like it a little bit. Like be more willing to watch it again, I guess.
I think it came down to runtime for me.
Man, what'd you put in? 4 hours? 4 hours on Pluto? It's a rough one.
Yeah.
Watch. All right. Well, overall star rating out of 5. What'd you
I
give
give
it?
it 3.5.
I gave it a 3. Solid 3. I don't have like a ton of problems with the movie. It was very kind of middle of the road for me.
Yeah.
I just wanted more to happen in the 2 hours plus that we got. 4 hours for you. That you got. I just wanted more, and it didn't get it. I was like every time something important happened, Liam Neeson's character wasn't even there, to do anything. I was like, oh, God damn it, he's gone again. Like, come on, man.
They don't the travel time,
Travel time,
He's
yeah.
gotta walk back and forth and roam the highlands and stuff.
They just hide behind rocks and nobody sees them apparently, because that's a thing.
Yeah.
So
I swear they burnt
missed.
the same house down like 4 times.
Oh my God, right? You can't tell the difference. He shows them to a new house. He's like, this is our new house. I was like, this looks exactly like this one that you just moved from. You guys need a better architect or something. Like it looks like a subdivision out there.
It wasn't by the water though. So they did learn
yeah. That way you can't come by sea. Jesus. Well, Joseph, thank you so much for doing this and for getting on here after your technical difficulties and everything. So you are my movie guy. You watch movies more than anybody else out here. You actually go to the theater and see some things. So do you have any recommendations for the people?
Oof. Been kind of slacking lately, but since the last time I was on here, I have seen quite a few in the theater, a handful, if you will. Recommendable, maybe a different story. I do have a few. Sinners, I will definitely say, is very worth your time if you're a theater person or once it comes to streaming and such.
Is it a 5-star movie in your eyes?
Close. I really do think it's close to a 5-star movie.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of issues with it, which we're not here to discuss, but there is a lot of beautiful camera work, a lot of really great scenes with important music, and music was like very beautifully like woven through the whole film as like the basis. And then there was also like some wild stuff in there that you don't expect unless you've like looked at spoilers and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I won't mention. A lot of great acting. Cannot recommend it enough to all the people out there. So a couple of others that I saw that were okay and worth a watch. Maybe not. I don't think any of them are in theaters anymore, but Death of a Unicorn. which has been one of the string of A24 movies that's come out fairly recently in the past couple months. Um, Pretty funny and uh, critical of our society in a very strange way. The unicorns look awesome in that movie. So recommend that. I saw Mickey 17, where Robert Pattinson plays like a clone basically, and ends up doing like a lot of kind of like some Sinners, where like he's doing a lot of work like playing two people in
Yeah.
the movie. It was pretty funny and pretty good. It's Parasite's.
Bong
Give me the
Joon-ho.
name. Thank you. Never can remember the name. I apologize. But yeah, it was his. I guess first movie since that,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. And one other I'll mention. It's called Hell of a Summer. It's like a campy slasher movie. I think it was Finn Wolfhard.
Oh yeah, yeah. Finn Wolfhard. Yeah.
Wolfhard. Thank you. It was his first like
Director.
directed movie, but it's very like typical like camp, actual camp slasher movie that was funny and predictable and everything I love about those type of movies. So
Did you ever? Did I mentioned Y2K on here? Did you ever see Y2K?
yeah, I saw Y2K. It was kind of very similar. Like
Yeah.
you you get what you came for,
Yeah.
in like a crazy and expected way. The, that kind of felt like yeah, I like Y2K in the same way.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wolfhard, I watched Walk Hard this week.
Nice segue.
Love that. I also watched Companion recently, which was
Yay.
and I really liked Companion.
It was good, right?
I liked it a lot, and they like the reviews for that movie are either like 5 stars or like 1 star of that movie. But I really liked it. I thought that was good. I love that girl. I think she's awesome.
Yeah. Man, I'm struggling with names, but yes, we've been watching through Yellow Jackets, which she's in as well.
Sophie Thatcher is her name.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's very good in that as well.
No, that was good. Jack Quaid is great at like one of being like the most charming, funny person on the planet, and then being like the biggest douchebag, dickhead, like hate him. He did that in Scream, and he did that in the like spoilers for Scream. But yeah, he's just so good at that. No, it was good. It was interesting and like an interesting way to think about. It's like a Black Mirror episode, but better than a Black
Yeah,
Mirror episode. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun little twist. So those are the only 2 movies I've seen recently. Still been watching a lot of TV stuff. Well, like Somebody Feed Phil and all that stuff that keep watching. So that's good stuff. I think that's it. And what'd you say?
I did also see Novocaine, like the
the other Jack Quaid movie.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
I didn't mention it, but
it's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right. Well, thank you again, Joseph, for that, and thank you for those recommendations. If you want more information, Joseph's pretty active in the Discord server. He'll be more than willing to tell you movies that he liked or didn't like. And you can join that along with all the other links to Instagram and our Letterboxd account. So check those out with the links on the Twitch profile and all that stuff. So check that out. Again, Sunday, May 11th, we're going to be continuing our theme called A White Man. No! Based on that Schmidt line from New Girl. Next week's movie is Dead Man Walking. Starring Sean Penn. It is a Tim Robbins directed movie, and Susan Sarandon's in that. I have never seen this movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so another we've got a lot of new ones for me coming up, so I'm pretty excited about watching some new things.
Is that Tim Robbins' first?
Tim Robbins' first directed movie, I believe.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so about a man on death row. It'll be exciting. But it is about a white man. So we'll be looking forward to that. Of course, I had already mentioned our extra credit theme, Back to the Future. which is not about Back to the Future. It's just about futuristic movies and sci-fi. We're going to be talking about Tank Girl, Johnny Mnemonic, Judge Dredd, The City of Lost Children, and Virtuosity. We'll be talking about those on May 28th at 6 p.m. And then finally, we're starting a new month in 52/1995 music. That's the pop month. Pop and dance, I believe, is what it is. And we're going over Mariah Carey's Fantasy album, or not Fantasy, Daydream. Fantasy is the first track on the album. So check that out on Tuesday. I'll reveal the time either tomorrow or the next day. Let you all know when we're going to be doing that. It might be a little bit later than normal, but for the most part, look for us on 6 p.m. that day. Other than that, thank you so much. We'll see you next time here, and enjoy our outro for our first outro on 52/1995.
What a year, what a time. Big screens, dreams, a movie rewind. From talking toys to heists gone wrong. We're watching it live and singing along. 52/1995. Grab some snacks, we're going live. Action, drama, comedy gold. We're reliving the stories told.
One movie a week, all year long. Let's roll the tape.